Good things take time, and I know that getting back my attention span and regulating my nervous system is only up to me. This video is a virtual diary on embracing an analog life as a way to relearn presence. And don't get me wrong, I know how counterintuitive that is. Learning takes time. Handmade things take time. Going to the library to pick something up takes time. But in that time, we also gain things that are golden. We regain a sense of sovereignty, get empowered from seeing that which our hands can create. And we learn to find pleasure in the process. In a world that lives in a hurry, I truly believe making things ourselves, cooking from scratch, taking film photos and watching something without our phones in our hands gives us and our brains the pause it needs to wonder, imagine, be present, breathe, and take it all in without a hurry, without needing to think or start planning what will happen next. Vamos a hacer leche de almendras. This last month I've been making my own almond milk after my friend Vanessa reminded me how easy it is. I usually go to a local farm where I can see the cows and see how free and happy they are to get milk, and it's raw milk, and I love a good old plant milk. But a lot of the ones in the store are either full of emulsions and hydrogenized stuff, or they're just quite expensive. And I would rather just do this myself. It does take some time, but you know, I'm starting to enjoy the process. I peel them, not because you need to do this for almond milk, but because it's an Ayurvedic practice. Some of them are easier than others, but it's become this grounding, slow practice that I'm doing pretty much once a week. As it doesn't have any emulsions, it doesn't last as long. And usually I will add, of course, water, dates, vanilla. It doesn't have alcohol, it's just like grounded vanilla that I get at Anima Mundi. Have a discount code in case you're interested. And that's it. Blend it. Use my cheesecloth and voila, almond milk. Before continuing, I just want to take a moment to give thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Whether you sell products, offer services, or both, Squarespace offers you everything you need to grow your business and get paid all in one place. With Squarespace award-winning designs, you can create a beautifully designed website or online store that showcases your brand and engages customers. With easy online payments and built-in tools for inventory, shipping, and fulfillment, you can simplify your workflow and give customers a seamless shopping experience. Squarespace helps you manage it all online while you focus on creating more of what you love. We're partnering up and offering you a 2-week free trial, and once you're ready to launch, you can use the code Caro Arevalo to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with them. And now let's go back to our video. Clase de acuarelas. Yesterday I went to a seed farm called Hudson Valley Seeds, and I went there because they host different classes, and I took a earth pigment watercolor class. I actually also share watercolor classes there myself. They have an amazing group of different nature and creativity related classes. So the class that I took yesterday was a earth pigment watercolor making class, and I have taken a few classes in the past. I actually also took a weekend workshop a few years ago, and I think there's such beauty in learning from different teachers. Even though watercolors have been my main medium for 15 years, up until today I still take basic watercolor classes with different teachers because I honestly believe we all have a different way of teaching, understanding, and creating with the same mediums. And the same goes for how we all create our recipes and how we all approach creating in general, including creating watercolors. So these are some of the colors that I created during class, and I really appreciated this class because it was a lot of hands-on in groups instead of just one person alone in the studio. So we were able to do a bunch of different colors together, and we also got to try a few that the teacher had made herself before. And I feel there's just such beauty in learning from different teachers. The way that I personally approach watercolor making with earth pigments is very methodic, and I try to grind my rocks until they are fully turned into dust. And that takes forever. And I really appreciated to have a different outlook with this teacher, which she was more like, you know what? It's part of the nature of earth pigment handmade watercolors that they will be a little rough and they will have a sandy texture to them. And you may know that the palette that I use for all my paintings is all earth pigment and minerals. And there's actually a few colors that I get that are super sandy, like pink piper stone, this one here being one of them. And some other teachers that I've learned with in the past, and me as well, we are more in the like grind your rocks forever until they become like flour, and they are so like the grain is so little that you don't have sandy watercolors anymore. But I loved having this different approach, and that's the beauty of learning from different teachers. So this was such a fun class to take, and it's not that I learned anything new besides having someone's different perspective on that. So some of the colors that I created in class, and we all took these 4 watercolors with us. 3 of them were earth pigment, and the blue is a French ultramarine blue that the teacher had bought at a shop. I believe it was at Kramer Pigments in New York City. But anyways, these pigments that I have here are from Evergreen, Colorado, Lexington, New York, and Asheville, North Carolina. And I know that a lot of these things you can learn either in books or online, but I am really making an effort on participating more in community things. My shy introverted self is so comfortable being alone in the studio with the books and with the online classes, and there's such beauty to that because we are sometimes very far away from teachers that we want to learn from. But I'm also just getting a little bit more curious on who's in my area and who's teaching the things that I'm interested on, and how can I still show up and go to these classes even if I sometimes feel shy to go alone. And not always my friends can come. So, just getting past that shyness barrier one day at a time. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket and I got the things that I was missing for this recipe here. I've had this book called Made in India for, I want to say 2 or 3 years now. And I've made very little of the recipes. I've mainly done their chutneys because I love a good chutney on everything. And today I'm gonna make a cauliflower, cashew, pea, and coconut curry. Let's see how it goes. There's a few things that I'm gonna be changing. So this recipe serves 4. So I'm actually going to make half of everything. And then I'm going to switch some things. Like I'm not gonna use canola oil, I'm gonna use ghee, and we'll see how it turns out.